Warm greetings, everyone. Welcome to today's session of Monday Munching and Musing with Women for Water. This session is conducted with the support of Water Resource Council of the Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry in collaboration with W for W Foundation and media partner Counterview. My name is Anubhuti Shekhar and I am the National Youth Representative Community of Wiki Water Resource Council. I am joined by Dr. Mansi Bhargav, who is currently holding the position of National President of Wiki Water Resource Council. Welcome, Mansi. We are glad to start the conversation, namely Monday Munching and Musing with Women for Water, which we colloquially refer to as LULIP. The conversation is aimed to share the worries and the wisdom by the woman, for the woman, of the women in the water sector. In here, we hope to learn about the water endeavors of the woman in a regular disciplined manner like a masterclass. Today, in this session, we are here to listen and know more about Anuja Bali. Anuja is a special educator and counselor passionate about educating children and adults about climate emergency, connecting all our activities to SDGs, promote sustainable living by adopting a zero waste lifestyle. Initiatives of growing gardens in every home, gifting green plants, teaching about waste segregation, composting, sustainable mensuration, plastic litter-free streets, promoting birds and banks, cloth bags to replace plastic bags, BYOB bag, BYOC cutlery, citizen engagement. She is a concerned mother fighting for clean air and clean water bodies, free of plastic, garbage dump and sewage, and is a crusader at the Warrior Moms Pune. Her personal pledge is to keep our ocean clean, is deeply connected and inspired by her daughter's future as a marine archaeologist. As a mother, she wants our collective Mother Nature, our Mother India, our planet Earth to be clean and welcoming. She is the founder of Itti Skills School Foundation that aims towards adopting rural and underprivileged schools, improving the infrastructure and facilities, teachers, training, and student skilling to ensure employability. Thank you so much, Anuja ma'am, for joining us today. We are so happy to have you. I would like to start our conversation by asking you, how did you step into the career of water and what are your current engagement in the water sector?
Yes, so water just happened by chance, I would say. And I think Mansi has been, an inspiration there because I knew people from various fields. And when I always used to read Mansi's tweets about water and some other organizations that I still follow and I am in touch with, they were also, and that's how I got deeply interested in how come we have so much, so many organizations and institutions and courses about water, but we are all suffering. There's no progress. We cannot see that something has become better. It's actually going like downstream. Rivers are without water. We are all getting tankers in societies. That's like everywhere, whether I talk about Bhopal, whether I talk about Pune or anyone else. So why aren't people doing that? And when I just, started educating myself, I realized that it's a very common problem. That's a thread that ties all of us. And unless and until we start talking about it, like, we complain about having stomachache or headache, but it's just not stomachache or headache. It can be a comorbid situation or a medical signal that your body is giving you that this is the reason why I'm having a constant headache or stomachache. And that's exactly like water, because people are complaining there's no water. But where is the water? How are the tankers getting water? How are the rivers empty? That is what I want to understand. And so I just keep having these conversations with experts, with people. And then when Wiki Water Resource Council was getting put together, Mansi, and we just had a chance meeting, and then we started talking about this, and that's how I formally became a part of Wiki Water Resource Council. And W4W Foundation was also getting set up around the same time. And since I had film production background, I was very keen on, doing the water talkies part, because it was inviting people who made films or documentaries related to water topics. So it has been, I guess, little more than a year, but I am just work in progress and learning. So I'm still a student, I would say. And today is Guru Purnima, so I would like to, convey my heartful gratitude to my water guru, Mansi. Thank you so much, Mansi. And Ajit sir has joined. He also is a treasure. We learn so much from him. He always keeps sharing and happy to share. So thank you, Ajit sir.
Thank you. You have been the best student, I must say, in since I know you. Okay. Anubhuti, over
Thank
to
you
you.
so much, Anuja ma'am. Like you mentioned about how you were involved in making documentaries, or somewhere you had a film background. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about it? Like how you were making the films, or you were part of it, and now how you decided to contribute in W4W and wanted to show people about water and documentaries.
Yeah, so I am one person who always congratulate people whenever they tell me or share with me that I'm going to quit my job. And I'm like, congratulations, you made a big decision. I'm that kind of person. I've switched so many times. Like I started in with marketing and advertising and public relations, and then print advertising, and then I thought print advertising is not my cup of tea. It's too, too dry. So then I went to Bombay, and there I started assisting in film production and television commercial and all these TV programs. And that production part was really exciting because it requires hands-on work, thinking critically all the time. You have no time to breathe, and you just need to deliver whatever happens. Nobody cares about what happened in the background. You just need to deliver. So I just loved it. And I think I still have the same mindset. Whatever happens, nobody needs to know what all went through. But if there is something that's supposed to happen on X day or X time, it will happen. So by hook or crook, like everything done positively, you need to do it. So after that, when I got married, I couldn't have, continued in film production because the timings were so weird. And my first project, I still remember, my friend had come from Canada and they wanted to make some promos for their spiritual channel. And I said, okay, I'll freelance for it. So we were recently married, and I would come back home at 3 o'clock in the morning and leave again at 6 o'clock. And it happened for 5-6 days. And my husband was like, excuse me, what kind of schedule is this? I said, this is what is film production all about. So the last day of the shoot, I invited him to the shoot, and I said, I just want you to see what happens in a shoot. And I was carrying a bag with like 2 lakh rupees cash, because at the end of the shoot, you need to pay everybody in cash. There were no, all these cards and apps that time. And he said, no, that's not safe. I said, I've traveled in Bombay alone at night with all the film, the cases, which is precious more than your life. Nothing has ever happened. So it's perfectly fine. Don't worry. And then after that, I got the, that feeling that that's it. Film production cannot happen this way. And there's no other way to do film production, basically. So then I consciously decided that I'm not going to be doing this. And then when I was going to have my first child, by the time I had decided to be a full-time mother, I didn't want anyone else to raise my children. So I had a little sabbatical, And after that, when I started again, I decided to be a special education teacher in Chennai. And I got trained and I got certified and everything because I really loved to be with children and as a teacher. And then I went to the US, and there again, I continued in school and did my master's in special education. And when I came back, it was just about the COVID lockdown time. So I couldn't join any school or continue as a teacher. And that's when I again switched to the environmental side and air pollution, water pollution. The trees were getting cut. Every day I was signing pledges and petitions, and I was just so disturbed with all of that. I saw people were burning garbage. So all of that just constantly moved me into waste reduction and sustainable living. And so here I am in a new role. So that's how I just keep, I guess, जैसे जरूरत पड़ती है वैसे मैं वहां चले जाती हूँ.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part of it, to get molded in every way possible. Like you mentioned very well how over the years you have changed everything. I think the best part about working for the environment and for water is that you don't need a lot of prior knowledge to start. You can just start anywhere, any time of your life. That's the best part about working for the environment. You can get engaged because learning comes from interacting, and basics we all know about environment. So I think that's a great step that you took forward, and we are so happy to have you today.
Thank
for
you.
all the decisions that you have made.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody's saying that. Otherwise, I've always been questioned, what are you doing? What do you want from life? What is this? What is this? Your trajectory? You can't define that you've done this or you specialize in this. And I have started reading and understanding that people don't need specialists anymore. People need generalists. That jack of all is good enough. Master of one just goes here. I don't want to be, ever want to be that person. I'm happy being jack of all because I can help so many people.
Right. So now that you are sort of contributing and helping to make people aware about the problems that the environment and the water field is facing, how would you define that? What are your current challenges or the activities that you do, and you face some sort of challenges educating all these people? What is the biggest challenge you would like to mention about that when you are educating somebody about the environment or water pollution? So what is the biggest challenge that you face in educating these people?
Yeah, the biggest challenge I would say is people know everything. They all know everything. But the behavior change, which is required, not needed, it is a compulsion that people must modify their behavior. That doesn't happen because they think, mere se kya hota hai? There are so many people, tell them. So that, that same thing that one person threw a straw and then crores of people said, ek straw se kya hota hai? It's exactly the same story. And I'm also very sad to see that when I start talking about SDGs, even adults, forget about children or students, even adults, they always ask me, excuse me, so what is SDG? Can you please share the full form? I don't start with the full form just for this. It's like thoda tatolna hota hai na apne ko ki hum unko kya pata hai. And it's a shocking thing that somebody who's finished college, is working as a corporate person, does not know what is SDG. So that is the pits. We are in such a bad condition. सब कुछ पता है, but ये नहीं पता. So अगर we have a goal, United Nations and India and all the countries, if we have set a goal of achieving those by 2030, and we are in 2023 where people don't even know the full form, just imagine what is the likelihood of achieving even a fraction of it. That really makes me sad, but I know that it's a huge challenge. Behavior change is a very complex, that's where the counseling and the special education and the, talking, all that comes in, because how to approach a certain type of community or a certain type of people. Some people they are very fixed. So then we can start with that growth mindset, apply some of that there, so you can gauge what is needed where and just address them that way. Then waste management, mismanagement is again a huge problem. Reduction is the first important thing, but they will keep ordering online and collecting things. And when, like Itti Skills School, we ask people, if you have anything in surplus and you don't use it anymore, please give it to our students. For that, they want to charge 50 rupees, 150 rupees for a book set of 6 books, or, even old shoes, they want to charge money. And I feel it's so petty that there are children who have nothing. They walk bare feet. And if we have so much and we give them the shoes that we've used for 4, 5, 6 years, uske liye bhi kya paisa charge karna? So there are so many things which are challenges, but I think these are all behavior challenges. They are not some other complicated challenges like technical challenges. So we have to just deal with them and keep talking about it. अगर बिल्डिंग में से कोई एक भी अपना सेग्रीगेट करने लग जाए प्रॉपर्ली कचरा एंड कंपोस्ट करने लग जाए, तो दैट्स अ विक्ट्री. सोचो, हमें वो सोचना है कि 100 में से एक किया, वो भी विक्ट्री है. But we are at that level. So it's a war footed, war level पे काम करना है. And I guess we need to just keep doing it. There's no no turning back. Challenges की कोई कमी नहीं है.
Yeah, I would completely agree, because around me there are very few people, like except the professors or my peers, except them, like in my family or friend circle also, I don't have many people who are actually related to environment or particular field. So all of them show all these sides that they're just dropping plastic bags or using it, like they just don't care about it. So it's very difficult to even tell them that you are not supposed to do it, because when you are in a group circle and everybody is laughing and having fun, pointing something serious like this out is itself a disclaimer for them. So they're like, why are you teaching us everything right now? We all know this. So there is a sort of judgment that comes out whenever we tell all these people something. Even at my home, now that I've started shouting at my mother that you're not supposed to do this, so now that she just, because she's scared of me, that's how she has stopped using it. I don't think she is very much still like you are not supposed to do this because you are harming the environment. She just, because she's sort of scared of me that I will see her using plastic bags and not carrying, etc. So that's how. So even the fear, it's like I can just give that to my people at home, not everybody. So it's like a difficult, wearing people is, I think, the most difficult job in our environment career.
You don't look scary at all, by the way. But I am really, my mother is like, when I just look, she's like, okay, don't say anything. So people just, I guess, I understand what you're saying. It's frustrating sometimes, I would say most of the times, but I pray for them, because we don't have to be related to environment. We are born in this. हम वो सांस ले रहे हैं जो हमें फ्री में मिल रही है. So we owe big time to the environment. People need to understand that. इसमें कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. When they talk about AI and machine learning, they are ready to learn something as complicated as that. But without breathing, how will you focus on that AI and machine learning or anything else? So first, that grateful होने का जो एक एक जज्बा होता है ना, that we are grateful that, oh, I am able to breathe, वो ही missing है. हमें वो सिखाना पड़ रहा है that you need to be grateful. Just imagine क्या हो गया है.
Yeah, I would agree. I remember telling my parents that I wanted to do my master's in sustainable development, and then my parents started looking what exactly is sustainable development, how what career she would have after studying this. Like so many questions because this is so unusual for them at least.
Yeah.
So it was like to just convince that I want to study. Like even my father has a broader knowledge of things, so it's a little easier to tell him things because he does a study by himself. But to my mother, I have to tell everything. So it's very difficult to just tell her that I want to study. So awareness is like the second part. But yeah.
Yeah. All the best to you.
So
It's mighty, mighty task.
yeah. My next question is, how do you balance your work and personal life? I think you have mentioned so many things already, but still, how are you managing right now? That would be a better question to ask.
Yeah. So I had just come back home 5 minutes before this. Like I was looking constantly at my watch that I need to get home. I need to get home. But sometimes it all goes very smoothly. And sometimes it just takes its own time. I have my mom who's with me. Then I have my family. I have 2 children, as in they're teenagers. But teenagers, when they are at home during their summer vacation and they're not traveling anywhere, that itself is an amazing, I would say, display of maturity that they know this year we are not going anywhere. And they're still trying to make the best of it. So how can I be thankful to them? By spending as much time, participating and doing things together. So what I was last year, especially, I would say, I was very overwhelmed. I was so confused that why am I doing all this? What is it? Do I just want to be busy? But I said, no, I just love doing this. So then I literally had to sit down, pen and paper, and put a priority list. I had so many conversations with even Mansi. I just was ready to switch off everything because I couldn't, it was constant going on non-stop. And that's the time I realized that for me, my 2 children and my mom will be always the first priority. That can never change, whatever happens. So first is that because of so many new things like app and electronics and all that, my mom cannot do things on her own. She just cannot understand and figure out. So I know that. I don't want at 75, I try to teach her many things, but these things are complicated. Even many in our generation find it difficult. So I help her in all of that. And my children are, obviously, they help me in figuring out and learning so many things. So it's just that wo balance hame kabhi karte hain, kabhi nahi karte hain. Like abhi I've decided I am not just going to be part of any social media because uske liye bhi time lagta hai. So I haven't checked my social media for more than a week, and I don't know who's messaging me, who's saying whatever. I'll just apologize when I go next. Because the first thing that I have to drop is social media. I cannot message, I cannot post, I cannot do anything. And I think when I do it, I feel a little relaxed that, okay, now I can focus on this. But other than that, we all have 24 hours and, everyone has different ways of, I guess, juggling. I'm not so pro at it. So I have to just check out certain things and then manage. But whatever is most important, like right now, I have started a course and I'm part of a cohort. So that is more important because there are assignments and that's what it aligns 100% with what my vision is for Itti Skills School. Not to focus on academics, do things differently, not talk about critical thinking as a future skill, but actually do something to tell them what is critical thinking. Don't just talk about communication. Talk about the various ways of communication, like filmmaking, like debating, on the spot. Like we used to have all these things in school, but now school also is focused like an industry and business only on results. So there, I think differently. And I want to create this. And I'm just so lucky and grateful that I got this chance that, there is a set of people who think and who are promoting that thought process. And I really want to reimagine and change that way of education. So no more schooling. So that's why I'm focusing my energies there. लेकिन कभी कभी जब बैलेंस नहीं हो पा रहा है तो आप 2 बजे तक 3 बजे तक होमवर्क कर रहे हो और सुबह वापस से उठ के आपका सब कुछ करना पड़ता है. That also happens very often, but there is no like a formula to do it, I would say.
Right. I think you have mentioned a lot of points about the social media. It takes a lot of time to like manage and talk to everybody and get engaged with. I think Mansi ma'am does that job very nicely for all of us. Other than that, like about the school, I think getting education at the school time, it's like the most important thing, because we all have learned a little bit about environment that in our school time. That's why we are little aware. And because our parents didn't get that chance to, like, they didn't hear their teachers talking about importance of environment, they don't know anything. So even right now, there are so many schools, like almost, I would say 99.9% of the school does not even teach their students about the importance of environment and everything. And that's like the biggest pressure we should put on of education in the field of environment. I would request, thank you so much, Anuja ma'am. I would request Mansi ma'am to take it from here and continue the conversation.
Thank you, Anubhuti. It was really nice listening to both of you doing this candid conversation. I was just enjoying it, to be honest, and I was wishing that this conversation continues. But let me switch gear at this point in time. Thank you, Anuja, for doing this frank conversation, and happy Guru Purnima to you also. Yes, so my question comes to you more from the water sector, especially on the leadership side. So it can be any sector, not related to water alone, but as you are aware, we are focusing on water as a subject, and you are now integral part of our team, both at Wiki Water Resource Council, as well as doing the Friday Waters Water Talkies. You are wonderfully managing it, let me tell you that. And I'm seeing now how you are so good in handling water talkies when you talked about your production experience, that how you used to do all the last minute things. And I get panicked 2 weeks, 3 weeks before, say, but you are still like, okay, I will manage, give me some time. So we also had a long conversation on this yesterday as well about managing house and managing work, when we both were in our different avatar of Bais. And we were talking work. So we know that we play these multiple roles being women in the society, but at the same time, when we have a specific roles to play as leaders of particular sector or field, we do realize that there are really real shortage of women leadership. Whether you talk about environmental pollution, you are seeing how we are struggling to get really more women in the water sector mapped, or get them together in the council so that everybody gets appraisal and everybody gets a platform to really make the presence felt to the others. What is your take on this? Because many people across the country, why women leadership is so much lacking in the country,
See, the first answer is, of course, known to all, because women have always, they are standing at that Y junction where, what do you prioritize? If you prioritize work, which anyone would love, I would love, I was always working. And now I feel that when I don't work full time, I just feel that there's something missing from my life. But then we have to accept, and sometimes it's just very smooth, that acceptance that, okay, now I have given birth to new lives, and nurturing them, guiding them, mentoring them is my priority. But that may be the same case with many, many women, or most women, or all women. What is the family background? Are they getting that support? Are they getting, like my husband says, go do what you want? So are they getting that support? My children always tell me that, listen, you've done enough, just do what you want. Are they getting that support? So my mom tells me, I will do whatever I can do, you just do what you want. That, even that sentence, whether someone can do it the way you want it, doesn't matter. That sentence that somebody is giving you a kind of a confidence that just go, we'll manage. That is a very big gift that a family can give to the mother or a wife or a daughter. So how many women are getting that? And then if they get it, the second point is, do they have the confidence to just go and ask for that opportunity if that opportunity does not exist? Because when I look at LinkedIn jobs, I just like looking at what they expect. I always go through that whenever I have some free time. If you have read what they require, it is a challenging list.
It's a superhero list, huh?
Yeah. And at the end, when some people mention what salary they'll be giving, it's like 4 lakh per annum, or it's hardly peanuts. So if I want a job, I'm not even going to apply for that. I'm giving you my entire day. I'm selling my soul to the devil. Because the work doesn't stop कि आपने Sunday को नहीं किया, Saturday को नहीं किया, after work hours होता है, before work hour होता है. And then you're paying me this. उससे मैं घर में क्या contribute कर सकती हूँ? मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ उससे? So if you are not even willing to acknowledge that I am a resource for you and willing to pay me, willing to respect me, then why should I go and work? I'm sure many women think like that. For men, it's different. Men ask more salary. अगर आज 20,000 कमा रहे हैं, कल 1 लाख मांगेंगे. कोई उनसे पूछता नहीं है कि आपका वो गैप कहाँ, क्या हुआ उस गैप का. But women have to give an answer to that. There have been many HR policies and they say it on paper that nobody will ask, but people do ask. A woman is leaving her house, getting married, going to another family, trying to do all those adjustments, giving birth to, killing herself and giving birth to children, raising them. Every change happens to a woman, and then she wants to go and work. She has to answer all these questions.
She has to go through that.
It is humiliation. And how petty can I be that I should just earn 20,000 per month? After having 30 years of work experience, just because I switched so many times, just because I had 10-year gap. But think of that, I bring 30 years of work experience in variety of topics, subjects, and in so many countries and cities. Imagine my resilience. What I bring to the table, उनको वो सब कुछ नहीं चाहिए. So because वो लोग लकीर के फकीर हैं, वो आगे किसी को आने ही नहीं देते. उनको लगता है नहीं वो डिग्री जरूरी है. Do you have any degree in sustainable development? Oh, you don't have, so you can't talk about SDGs. Excuse me, I follow SDGs. I know more about that degree holder. That's what stops women. That's what I think.
Yeah. As far as job calls go, I have seen it from the background that most of the calls are written by those who are actually going to be eventually eligible for that job. So that the juniors in the organizations are often writing the job calls, and they write it almost like a tailor-made job where nobody can qualify, but the person who they want to hire gets qualified for the job. So I don't give much weightage to job calls, to be honest. The way it is written, because my personal experience goes as you get work only because of connection, not because of your capability. And this is the most unfortunate part in the society, to be honest.
Really
and funny thing is, I have reached a stage in my life where I'm so bloody connected that I don't get jobs. So that's another part of the best thing in life. But anyway, let me move on to the next question on leadership. So when we are talking about these kind of situations for women, and you know that we are trying to set up this whole platform or network of women, where we really want to get into a sisterhood kind of a situation, supporting each other, mentoring each other. We barely know each other also for hardly 15 months now. And you are seeing we are trying to really build that kind of, interpersonal skills, I will say, and then also networking skills, and also trying to inform each other what's going on, where, if we can join those things. Now, what do you think? What are the additional skills? Let's say women have crossed all those hurdles of, family pressure and professional pressures and all, or personal pressure also, because many women also face this after this gap of 10 years. They have to really spend time to build the confidence within themselves. What kind of skills do you think is actually required for women to really take it on as soon as possible when they decide to, chart a path of leadership? Because I know you are right now a part of a very wonderful cohort where you feel much more confidence in talking about sustainability than before. So that's one part of doing a formal kind of a training to become expert in some subject, but other skills which are required for, leaderships and all. So definitely subject skills, but what other skills you think are required?
The first important thing that all women should remember, I'm sure all men also, all children also, that whatever their previous work or previous area was, they should not delete that. As in, they should remember that that also was their experience and it taught them something. It could be the worst boss in the world, but that also taught them how to deal with a person who's difficult, how to be more resilient, or how to be performing under pressure. So remember what all you've learned. Reflect. Lots of reflection has to go on. And when somebody says, talk about yourself in the interview or, wherever, these are all the things that you should talk about, because I'm a good communicator. How are you a good communicator? Because I can't handle bad people. I can only talk to good people. So that,
That
when you're a good communicator, you should be able to handle any situation. So, dig out whatever you've learned from your previous experience, because there is a huge difference between a leader and a boss. And
yes,
who we have are mostly bosses.
yes,
When we talk about leadership, it's more like bossship, because we lack good leaders. That's why people dread that, oh my goodness, I don't want to be in that team. So why? When people who are supposed to be leaders, they go through all these leadership conclave and XYZ, why don't they imbibe anything from there? Because that humanistic value is not important at all. So when I talk about EQ a lot, emotional intelligence,
yes,
and it's a very common people thing to remember that people with high EQ will be on top of people with high IQ. It's not necessary that people with high IQ will be good leaders, because they were just focused on what they wanted to, that interpersonal relationship is very important for a leader. Content कभी भी सीखा जा सकता है.
absolutely.
कोई बिग डील नहीं है उसमें, लेकिन ये लोगों के साथ मैनेज करना वो सबसे बड़ी बात है. How do you treat a guard in your building, or a watchman in your building, or your house help, or your people who are the lower fourth, the lower category staff? That shows what kind of a person you are. So उससे आप उनका इंटरव्यू ले सकते हो जब आप किसी बिल्डिंग में जाते हो और आप देखते हो कि वो कितने रिस्पेक्टफुली रहते हैं. So हमेशा ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप एक I went to a very, very famous person in Pune, and he has a foundation and all that XYZ loaded with everything. And when I went to meet him, it was for a rural social development education wala thing, and I went with high hopes. I waited for 45 minutes. All of that happened and all of that happened. And then I went inside. The way he greeted, he just sat. And I was just like, okay, I want to leave the room. I'm done. That's it. I just didn't get the vibes. And if I had to work with a person like this, I don't think I will ever be motivated. So you need to exuberate those vibes. Even if I don't know so much about water, but Mansi has never made any of us ever feel that, listen, you don't talk, you don't know. Never. In fact, she pushes us to go out of our comfort zone, attend that, just say, just go, just join. I would call that as a leadership quality. Not someone who will not even give you share the, presentation or share the invite that there's something happening. I have been invited for all these G20, whatever C20 things by bilkul strangers. And I was like, what am I doing here? And those people are like, no, we need that point of view, that perspective.
Yes.
That's why you're here. So I didn't know them. I don't know how they got my number and through what connection, but they invited me. I went, and then I was invited for the second day also. So I feel so good that I'm part of a good, I always pray and I am grateful to the universe that unless we experience good, we will never be able to tell someone what to be hopeful for.
That's extremely important.
Every day we need to change our poison into medicine. That's what is the Buddhist philosophy. And we all know that every spiritual book or, leader talks about the dark is the night, the dawn is nearer. So if you cannot get a job, if you cannot get a good set of people, just keep meeting more people. There is social media. You just read about something and you don't feel hesitation in reaching out to someone. That is what I never, ever hesitate. Whether it's a CEO, whether it is anybody, I just direct message them and I always get a response. There has hardly 2-3 people who've not responded, but they've responded after 1.5 years.
Yes.
So you will all just knock the door, because if you did not knock the door, you did not take that opportunity. Just go, knock the door, talk to people, and then you will definitely find your like-minded people. It's again the leadership thing that is how we learn. So many times you get rejected, not even rejected, you don't even get noticed. You are a nobody, but somebody is noticing you.
Yes.
You yourself become confident after every exposure or every experience. So dheere dheere, it's a long road, but hoga.
Very nicely said. There is a saying in Dutch, I don't know whether we have that saying or not. Unless you try, you never know that it is there for you or not. So that's important, that one has to keep trying. And I also agree with you that failing is really not a problem, because if you have learned from failing, it was worth failing. That's also my way of looking at life. If you have not learned that there is a problem, then there is a problem. So learning has to be a continuous process in this entire, I will say, endeavor. Let me bring a little question to you related to the way we are now connected in the platform. You are already working on the Friday Water Talkies, but at the same time, we have a very loosely knit this Water Resource Council. How do you think as a council, we can bring a difference in the society? That's one part of the question for the council. But at the same time, what kind of skills do you think would you like to really explore that council should provide, for women leaders, so that they can upskill themselves, or if there is anything required? So what is your take on these two questions?
For the council to grow, I think we really need to have lots of conversations, and women have to be shedding their inhibitions and judging themselves that no, I've not done this, so I'm not good at it. That judgment And, self-trashing, I call it in bad words, that is very bad because it kills your confidence.
Confidence, huh? It is
And
coming
yeah,
because of lack of confidence.
yes, it's lack of confidence. And it also tells the other person that when she's not confident, how do you start the ABC? If you're confident, at least you can start something. So
Yes.
confidence is the basic platform. And then you need to, it's a requirement to know how to use all these apps, the technical skills are very important. We must train them like consciously. So many warrior moms and so many ladies and people from my waste management, my waste, my responsibility group who've never used Twitter, who are very conscious how to do that. Uh, I just on DM or even Google Meet, I take these small sessions and I just teach them word by word by word, literally hand holding how to tweet. And when they tweet and they send me that screenshot, it's a victory for them. So कोई दूसरा क्या बोलेगा, तुम्हें करने की जरूरत नहीं है, तुम्हारे बस का नहीं है. That's it. Somebody said तुम्हारे बस का नहीं है, तुम्हें वो करना ही है. You need to prove. I'm one person who loves to prove other people wrong, which is a bada maza aata hai. If you told me I can't do it, I will definitely figure out how to do it. So kitni sari cheezein, and I keep telling all these to other people because you can't charge for this, but it takes away so much time. But I think that is what that sisterhood is. कि आप लोगों को साथ में लेके चलो, और कोई पीछे छूट गया तो उसको हाथ दे के उठाओ और लाके बिठाओ या खड़े करो, वो जिस भी whatever that need is. So when we do a form, like someone is joining and they have joined, I think we should have a little kind of a Google form जिसमें हम उनसे पूछें कि what are you comfortable, do you have these Twitter handle, Instagram, do you know, like Insta Live, when I do, people could not, who have Instagram accounts and thousands of followers, they just did not know how to do Insta Live, as in get on as a guest. मैं उनके लिए अलग से मैंने उनको ट्रेनिंग दी. So ये चीजें बहुत छोटी हैं, but ये हमारे दरवाजे हैं आगे जाने के लिए.
Absolutely.
So ये टेक्निकल स्किल्स बहुत, लाइक जूम कैसे ज्वाइन करते हैं, या आजकल जूम के अलावा टीम्स है, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, वो कैसे करते हैं, और सबके अलग अलग वेबएक्स है, सबके अलग अलग नियम हैं, वो कैसे करते हैं, हाउ टू सी OTP, ये चीजें अगर उनको नहीं आती तो पहला लेसन तो यही है.
So digital skills देना बहुत जरूरी है, because I think because sector knowledge तो उनके पास है. So we are talking about the additional skills which are required. Very well put. So what will you offer to the council now? How will you start doing some training programs for the council members? Probably you are the best person to do all these IT skills which you were talking about, because you have also trained a little bit in last 1 year. And now Anubhuti says that I'm doing very well in social media, and I feel like, wow. But anyway.
I had like we had spoken earlier that we can do a little training session or workshop for whichever, it can be a social media thing, and whichever they don't want, we can cover or 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think social media handling is an important tool which we must run through for all our council members, and that can be a very good training session, or we can say interactive workshop, kind of, not training but interactive workshop, and make sure that everybody knows to handle it, and so that can be a good tool.
How to tag people, and then when they see that someone has posted something, how to cross post, how to repost, what is the value of tagging the important people, and how can you write your own comment or thought and then post.
Yes,
वो सब बहुत जरूरी है, because then people notice you and people get to know your thinking. Otherwise सिर्फ repost करने से कोई value नहीं है.
So basically we are talking about increasing your connectivity, as I was just talking about, that nowadays it is more about connectivity than capability. Of course, capability comes into picture, and it is not only just working in one sector, but as you rightly mentioned, it is about your 30 years of experience which you have to bring together. Don't leave aside any experience. But apart from those experiences, which counts as capability, connectivity is extremely important today. Whether you connect physical, whether you connect emotional, whether you connect digital, or all three of it for that matter. Let me just do one thing for now. I will hand it over to Anubhuti. Thank you so much, Anuja, for the candid conversation. And Anubhuti has a very lovely question, which is related to probably her age group. So over to you. Thank you so much, Anuja.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Mansi ma'am, for asking such wonderful questions. Anuja ma'am, my last question from you would be any message that you would like to share with the young professionals who are entering the water sector, and if anything specific to the women who are working in the water sector, any message that you would like to share with them?
See, all the women, all the girls who are entering the water sector, remember that you own this. धरती माता है, नदी माता है, ठीक है, पृथ्वी माता है. As women, we own it. It is about us. It is about you. So if someone is exploiting me, encroaching me, polluting me, it is that. So unless and until you take that ownership and feel deeply connected कि ये मेरे साथ हो रहा है, you will not have that nerve जो कि press होती है और वो आवाज निकलती है. So press that nerve and then be brutal. Just whoever you find video, post, just write about it. Because how long will we be meek and be respectful and that lihaj mein ki it's okay, it's okay. Like 4-digit crore amount or budget has been wasted until now. Do we see कि Yamuna has become Antarctica? लोगों को photo देखकर, where did that money go? And how many women were there to clean that river? So we need to be like your generation has to be very strong in policy making. Just उसमें घुस जाओ. Every board, every committee, every team must have women in it. If it is 49-50, कोई बात नहीं. 49 women वहां पे रहना चाहिए. जब तक वो नहीं होगा तब तक कुछ नहीं होगा. हम अपने आप को माइनॉरिटी में कंफर्टेबल, इट्स ओके, हमने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया दैट वी आर माइनॉरिटी. वी शुड नॉट बी. माँ घर से बाहर रहती है तो घर में कियोस हो जाता है. वाइफ घर से बाहर रहती है तो घर में कियोस हो जाता है. चीजें नहीं मिलती, चाबी नहीं मिलती है ना. और हम यहाँ पे नदी को क्लीन करना और इतनी बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहे हैं और वहां पे कोई वुमन नहीं है तो फिर कियोस ही होगा. So we need to use our emotional strength, which is more than men, of course. And that gut feeling, women have more. The sense of nurturing, women have more. So always, even if you're a fresher, always own it and remember that is your river. Don't go as a hesitant person. Excuse me, so अब क्या करना चाहिए हमें? नहीं, आपको gut feeling से जो आ रहा है आप सीधे बोलिए, मुझे लगता है ये करना चाहिए. What do you think? Put your point forward. Don't wait for someone to ask. Maybe nobody will ever ask for your opinion. That's how the system is right now. So we need to change it, and you all can change it. हम तो अभी पुराने generation वाले, मतलब मैं तो at 50 I'm really like not, कोई भी चीजें मैं apply नहीं कर सकती. ना कोई fellowship, ना कोई scholarship, nothing. I was like, oh, I just feel so sad. But you should take advantage of all of that. सब स्कॉलरशिप फेलोशिप में बिंदास अप्लाई कर दो. जब तक हम अप्लाई नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम वहां पहुंचेंगे कैसे, है ना. आपने तो वो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिस कर दी 100%. अगर अप्लाई करते और रिजेक्शन होता तो अलग बात थी. सो अप्लाई, डजंट मैटर. जहां पे देखा एज ग्रुप में अंदर आते हो, अप्लाई. डोंट मिस एनीथिंग. देयर इज सो मच हैपनिंग. सो एटलीस्ट थिंग्स विल स्टार्ट कमिंग इन राइट हैंड्स. हम स्टीयरिंग घुमा सकते हैं फिर.
Thank you so much, Anuja ma'am. I think you have put everything so nicely, so it would be difficult for me to point out everything that you have said about all of the things, I would say. So thank you so much. I think it was a very wonderful session. I would just conclude the session. Thank you. May you all remain an inspiration to others. We are so grateful to have learned about your water endeavors. May you continue your water activities and keep us posted. We look forward to the coming Mondays to learn more from women in the water sector. We will continue with the Monday Munching and Musing on every Monday at 5 p.m. For regular updates, please follow our social media platform. Thank you. Take care. Bye. See you soon.
Bye. Thank you so much for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much. Thank you.
Thank you so
You
much,
spoke
ma'am,
your
for coming.
heart. It was nice. Thank you.
The first line that attracted me to start practicing Buddhism like 20 years ago was, it is the
Thanks
heart
a
that is
lot.
most
Thanks a lot,
important.
ma'am.